Welcome back to Surviving Mars. My name is Tobal. Lots of stuff is happening right now in various areas of the map. So our main complex here is still trying to keep up with demand. I'm really struggling to meet the demands of pretty much of everything. I mean, electronics, polymers, machine parts, what have you. They're all in very, very high demand. I'm going to go back to trying to import polymers for a while because so much of what I need is dependent on polymer. So we're going to try to get that taken care of. This dome, the Science Trigon, I think is relatively holding together okay. Some people are not, we're not able to get to a building. Let's see, not supplied with resources, not working, and missing service building gaming. I mean, we don't really have, I could put a casino down, but we're not really going to have the electronics to warrant opening up anything in the Science Trigon for a bit. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to stay on top of all the crazy requirements here. Like, I mean, we've got people that are, so many people are working in the electronics factory that there's missing jobs in some of their services. So at the moment, we're just trying to hold on for dear life. Now, I would love to get my Alpha Dome set up so I can consolidate and reduce some of the costs here. Now, if you think about it, this is going to cost 50 power to run. However, all of these separate domes require 15 energy each. So that will, once we reduce all of these domes, that's going to make things a lot better for us in terms of both water and power overall. But until that time, and especially until the time where I get my fusion reactor, we're a little screwed. And I hate to keep putting money into my crazy Stirling generator array. I could go with a solar array as a kind of interim. Like, what if I put a solar array over in this corner, and or somewhere within drone range of one of my drone hubs? I'm just kind of torn. I really don't know. There's a lot of things we could do right now. We're still struggling with water. I'm trying to get these bad boys to finish their moisture vaporators up so we can have those resources at some point too. I do think right now that one of the bigger issues is the shuttle transportation problem. So I'm going to put down a new shuttle transportation hub. Shuttle hub right here. Because my end goal eventually is to have a major hub in this general area. All my shuttles will come from one spot, and I'll have a nice, lovely storage area right here that the shuttles will come pick up and drop off, and then they'll transport those items to whoever needs it. One thing also I missed up here, there is a low-quality underground metal deposit, and if I move my whatever dome this happens to be, what if we move this a little bit farther out? We could completely remove our dependency on this dome that's way far to the southeast, and then maybe reduce the type of dependencies that we're dropping off at our crazy looking, our crazy looking little depot over here. Can remove this because we have enough of that and the concrete now. But yeah, we can pretty much remove all of that type of stuff and maybe not have to worry about food getting moved down here, things like that. So it's an option, and I think I'm going to do it. This is still a ways off. Like, this dome is not going to be built for a very long time. We do not have the concrete. We don't really have the access right now that we would normally use either, but I will put it down just to have, so I kind of know what I was doing with it. But yeah, we're one thing opens and another thing closes. Too far from working drone commander, that is fine. No problems, my friends. Right, that's taken care of. I would love to start, like, shoving some people into the Mega Alpha Dome. I really, really would. The problem is, like, we're just short on everything. So I'm going to keep focusing on trading polymers for a bit. I will probably start pumping some more people into our main site here too. Some more colonists from Earth. We're mega short on engineers, and there's a lot of engineers right now that are applicants on Earth, and so those engineers could go a long way to shoring up our deficiencies in the machine parts factory and the polymer factory and things like that. So I think I'm going to bring in another boatload of colonists. Again, down the road, whenever we get time, I will start moving them over to the Megadome Alpha. The problem is, when I turn this bad boy on, boom, all of our resources down the drain. So until I can come up with a solution to our power problems, I'm not going to be touching this by and large. I don't know, maybe a giant field of solar panels, though. It only requires metal. There's also a metal resource here. I'd love to get those automated extractors, but I don't think that technology is within our grasp yet. Oh, speaking of technology, let's take a look at our tech tree. So we are kind of blowing through the tech tree now that we've got 2,000 research per soul, 2,500 including our sponsor and whatnot. So farm automation should hopefully reduce. Now the thing is, I don't know how many people it reduces the number of workers by. So I'm hoping it's going to be a lot. but I might be wrong. Otherwise, I'm going to do Martian aerodynamics to make our shuttles go faster. I will queue up automated storage. I think I need to start focusing on some things like, for our colonists' performance and happiness levels. Like Martian-born don't take sanity damage from disasters would be amazing. Things like the Martian education here. Martian-born colonists graduate faster in universities and sanatoriums. I'd love to get more people graduating from universities faster. That's a huge problem right now. We are getting people in and out of the system, but it just seems like it's taking forever. And, the rate of people retiring, so to speak, coming a senior and no longer being in the workforce is pretty high as well. So I'll keep it going. I am going to probably send a shuttle from Earth right now, and we'll get some new colonists on board and try to keep up and maybe replace some of the losses here at our machine parts factory and things like that. But it's a little tight. It could get ugly in a heartbeat. So I'm going to try to work as hard as I can on getting this megadome up and running and getting everything in one spot. Alright, I'm about 10 more minutes in from when I last left off. So I rearranged a couple things. I kind of really started analyzing how our storage was laid out. And I decided to go ahead and make a dedicated storage for every kind of resource until we get the really big automated research or storage areas through research here in a little bit. So this is kind of my central hub. And it's working as intended, I believe. The general idea is that if there's any resource at all that's spare, it's going to try to come here. Right, so it's going to try to come down to the concrete depot or the food depot or something like that. I am happy to see that we've got so much food lying around, which is lovely. So then anyone else that has, I guess, another depot that's in range of the map, our shuttle will try to go and deliver that. So, for example, I'm specifically requesting, let's say we want to always keep 30 fuel on hand at this fuel depot. So it's always going to try and go and grab 30 fuel from anywhere that, I guess, is over the amount, the requested amount. I think that's how it works. So say, for example, our food depot here says we have a desired amount of 0. So in theory, if anyone else requests food, they should always pull from this if it has food and deliver it. So I've decided that areas that are just kind of existing on their own, let's just request 2 of whatever desired material there is. One for a spare, one to replace something, and then one as a spare in case we don't quite get out there as quick. I could keep it at 3. I don't think it really matters in the long run. But yeah, so what they'll try to do is deliver any of the goods we need. And pretty much over here, we need polymer, electronics, and machine parts. So polymers, electronics, machine parts. And I've got, actually, I should have metal, not concrete, stored here in case we happen to get knocked out with we actually just did have a meteor strike in that area. So over here, I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I'm going to have another universal depot requesting everything, pretty much everything in this area. 3, or I guess I'll do like 5 since there's so many domes right now. But again, we're just getting started in this general vicinity. I'm just trying to get everything a bit more organized. I'm also very, very close to getting this shuttle hub done. And I think when that shuttle hub is finished, we're going to be in a lot better shape. What are you? Are you my people? You are my people. I'm going to drop these people off here. I have no idea where they're going to find a home. I hope they spread out among the different domes we have. If it's a bunch of engineers, I'm kind of curious. I would like to see where the engineers go. Because the engineers should be living... Wow, you know what I could do? I didn't even think about it. I really should start using this category thing, right? Like, no engineers should live in here at all. Why are engineers not even in here? Oh, they are. So yeah, no engineers should live in this dome whatsoever. Because we have engineered jobs that are somewhere far away. Huh, that's actually probably the best way to do it. Now, what I think I'm going to try to do here coming up, this dome here basically serves no purpose other than to supply people. But they're not working. They're all service industry people, I think. So all of these people, I believe, a lot of them are working, say, in the main diner. Let's take a look. Where do you live at? What's your dome? Okay, so it is the Kukulkan one. So a lot of the people who live here are working in the Thunderdome. I forgot I named it Thunderdome. I'm quite amused at that. The rest of these are mostly serving the purpose of, working at one of the factories, and that's pretty much it. That's why we exist as a whole in a lot of these different areas. So my hope right now is with this new Spirit of Man 1, I'm bringing tons of raw materials and a machine parts factory and a electronics factory. And I'm going to throw those down in the new dome. As soon as I can, I'm going to start moving people into the mega dome. I'm almost caught up on power. Actually, this is powered. That's actually exciting. We're only a little tiny bit short on water. And we can have this dome up and running, which is actually really, really cool. So, We're almost finished making the power line. I put down a pretty large field of solar arrays. Now, it's going to get a little bit rough at night. Well, you know, it trades off. When these go down at night, a lot of our main buildings that draw power go off at night, too. So it kind of evens everything out. We do have a couple people who are leaving. I've not been able to get any polymer over to this arcology in forever because I'm waiting on a stupid trade hub to unload, or this stupid trade rocket to unload here. So as soon as this thing unloads, we are going to be able to leave, get this rocket of Europe gone, and hopefully get some polymers in this general vicinity again to repair some of the things in this general, in these two domes here. So we're struggling a bit there. I am also trying to get this drone hub up and running so we can get this water extractor up and running because we're really short on water and we're about to lose our depot of water over here, our deposit of water in this area. So yeah, we're in an awkward spot, but I think we're going to get out of it okay. So we've got a really good delivery coming up here. We will have things like the shuttle hub here will be finished up here in just a bit. I will start pulling some people over into the new dome. I think I can start trading them out. I mean, honestly, I'm really tempted. We're so close. I really just need to put down my service buildings in this dome and then expand those services as we go. So we should probably start putting those down now because I'm pretty close to being to pulling the trigger basically and saying let's do it. You know, I really wish, and I might even look for the mod that lets you pack things up. Do you guys think that's gamey to find the mod that lets you pack buildings up? In theory, if this game is a prefab, I would think there's a way to tear it down, but I guess it's one of those things where, you know, it comes pre-assembled and you put it together in parts, but it's a lot harder to disassemble than anything else. But, you know, such is life, no big deal. Let's put down at least a couple of, I think I want to put down 2 of every service building that I have. That's a big one. So, like, 2 space bars, for example. We'll probably put down 2, what else do we wind up having down here? We'll want to put down at least a security station. So probably we'll have one section in the middle here that's going to be mixed, right? We'll have some infirmaries in here. No, we are going to have the medical facility inside, so we don't need the infirmary per se yet. We'll put a couple of diners on each area, on each side of the dome. I'm really just trying to figure out how many of these service buildings we're going to need to keep all these people happy. So we'll put services in the middle. I will probably put down things like we will eventually need a replacement university, which is going to hurt a little bit. We are doing pretty good in the electronics department, though, because I mostly just got a massive shipment in. We'll also need things, well, you know, the school and whatnot. Now, the school, to be fair, is not going to be as needed, because we're going to put the school over in the dome where you're having kids at, maybe. We will put some playgrounds down, because I'm assuming people will want to move out once they're done having kids. I'm not really sure how that works, but hey, we'll figure it out in time. More polymers, yes, please God, more polymers. Always, always more polymers. As soon as this new shuttle hub comes up, we're going to be in a much better shape, I think. The big problem right now is I'm not able to send my materials over to the northeast quadrant here. So as soon as this shuttle hub comes up, that should be taken care of. My storage is a lot more centralized, so that's reducing the amount of times my drones are having to go from point A to point B. I think we're also, God, everything is super bad for the drones. Let's get everything down to like 8 and start from there and try to get everybody at 10. Now that we're all even. Drone hub here. And we'll see who complains. So we go out of the screen for a second, come back into it. And then whoever doesn't have... Actually, that's good. We still have high loads up here. So I'll keep reducing in the other drone hubs here until we get all of the high priority things taken care of. How's this going to look? What do we see now?
Anomaly found.
With your elf eyes. God, lots of high freaking... What are all these drone hubs doing? That's kind of... Where is this drone hub at? Oh, that's fair. You are one of the main drone hubs right in the center. It's probably my OG drone hubs, right? 1, 2, 3, and probably another one down here to the south. So they're pretty busy. This Spring City trade rocket, yeah.
Anomaly
I do not feel like helping you right now. No joke. Like 80 polymer? Are you kidding me? That's pretty much all the polymer I have right now. Why? This thing has been sitting here forever trying to get the food unloaded, and it's killing me a little bit inside. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. It's because we're full on food. These are the days. These are the reasons I can't be trusted with things. Let's drop down a temporary food depot. Here I was fussing at this thing the entire time, and there's nowhere for them to store any food. There it goes. Okay, So I'm going to change the required trade out over there for polymer as well.
Meteor incoming.
God, meteor. We're in the middle of a meteor storm. You know, there is a technology that's going to hurt so bad. Oh, that whole section's going to be trounced here in just a second. That's all right. We'll get them fixed up pretty hardcore. Let me move these guys out of the way, though. At least we're not going to lose the drone hub yet again. And knock on wood, we haven't had any impacts on the domes yet. And those can really stack up because it's like 5 polymer or so to repair a punctured dome. So it's super, super rough. All right, are you guys back to work again? Can I just say... I think if I just leave them alone, they'll go back to work in a minute. Right, so we did lose a drone somewhere, somehow. Leak detected, that's going to be taken care of, all that stuff. Meteor impact locations, you're going to get hit, but you are in range of a drone hub somewhere. Are we prioritizing this drone hub? No, let's prioritize that. We're prioritizing the shuttle hub. Whew, we're getting closer, guys. We're getting really, really close to getting this dome up and running. So thanks so much for hanging in there with me. I do hope that this whole situation is going to get cleaned up very, very soon, but I'm just kind of trying to keep everything stable as much as possible until my shuttles basically catch up with delivering parts, and then they, I think we'll be in much better shape from there. What are you? You are ready to go back home with a full, no, with an empty, that sucks. Really? God, they're going to have 2 empty things here. Grr. Rare metals here. I think I almost need to have a dedicated storage area on this side, too. No, we don't want more food. We definitely want polymers on this side. How do we get, like, you see how my storage is actually almost full? It's not almost full, but it's, you know, it's got a lot of rare metals here. And they're sitting at the extractor because my universal depot is full. Now, I said I only want my desired amount 5. Does that mean that I want... Should I be maxing this out? So what if I say here, what if I want 180 rare metal? Is that going to reverse the flow of goods? Is that going to say I'm always going to try to bring goods, the flow of goods should be going in that direction? I'm not entirely sure. I'll keep an eye on it to see if I can figure out how to specifically make and clean up a bit of the transportation and delivery of goods. It'd be cool if a shuttle would come here with goods and then pick the goods up and go back home. I've been seeing the drones go one direction and then stop and turn around and completely miss what they were trying to get in the first place.
Planet that meets
Holy crap, we just had an anomaly that unlocked a ton of new items. Let's take a quick peek. We actually have the full terraforming tree completed. That's crazy. We are just one shy of engineering as well. Holy crap, rare metals extractor production increased by 50%, plasma cutters, 20,000 research, oof. $2 billion worth of funding. This is repeatable, but also $20,000 worth of research. That's crazy. Water conservation system. Water consumption of domes reduced by 50%. That's actually really awesome. That's across the board, I think. I don't know if that's even an upgrade you have to apply. Retirement age and death from old age happen later in the colonist's lifespan. Oh god, that would be amazing to have a much longer working workforce. But again, these are pretty far and away technologies right now. I do still need to focus on getting more carbonate related, more atmosphere related things on the board. But for the moment, we're just trying to keep up with demand. Anything else interesting we got here? We still have, this is relatively new, rejuvenation center's new. Factory AI. Oh, very cool. Factory AI, performance increased by 20%. Oh god, yes, please. I might actually queue that up early rather than later. That is a very, very useful technology. We did get deep metal extraction, so we probably want to actually queue up the deep scanning first, because I'm assuming somewhere down the tree here will be the technology for accessing the deep water deposits, which do exist somewhere in the world. So awesome. Lowers the risk of colonists developing a flaw after a sanity breakdown. We haven't had too many sanity breakdowns, surprisingly. I don't actually know how, but hey, that's nice of them. So we'll keep at it. We are almost done
Meteor incoming.
with... Slow down just a bit. We have meteor storms all in the wrong places. I did get my line cut a bit here and there, but thankfully we didn't have any major impacts. But we are a little bit short on power because it's the middle of the day, I think, and that's when everything is pretty much running. I think I'm going to go ahead and just throw down another batch of solar arrays here. They seem to be doing a pretty decent job, to be honest, and I think I like having this field of solar arrays, mostly because they're in a place where our drones can get to them, because there's a drone hub right up here on the up the way. So I think they're easily accessible, and there's they do a pretty average job. I think these solar arrays, they give you 5 power, and they only require metal for maintenance. And if you look up here, we are starting to stockpile stuff up a bit more, which is wonderful. So we are getting back on track. I do have a lot of metal that is that can be applied towards maintenance and things like that. So I'm trying to stay on top of it. What else is going on? A bunch of Earthsick colonists, again, all struggling because we still don't have polymer up in this zone. This has been my biggest failure, is not supplying our science dome with the right amount of polymer. So we're going to take a really big hit, and I might even have to micro getting some people assigned to the scientist profession at the university. That's going to be a little bit rough, but we will do what we need to do. Meanwhile, I have 2 shuttles that are ready to go home, but they don't have any good trade goods here for us. So I have to fix my flow of trade goods back from the northeast area down to the south. And I think all of it comes down to getting more shuttle hub, the shuttle hub out there. So bear with me a little bit longer. We are getting much closer to where we want to be in terms of organization, but we're just a hair shy. All right, so that other shuttle hub is finally done. So we're waiting to get a fuel delivery. I do have a drone hub that just came online, and it should be within range of everything it needs. We have fuel here. We are requesting fuel here too. So hopefully the fuel will make its way over to us. You know what I need is the actual fuel. I'm going to move all of my fuel from one area to another. Oop, I don't want to move everything. Sorry, that was actually break everything here. I just want to make a transport route to move my fuel from down south up to the north for a while. That way we can develop a pretty decent stockpile. We do have a stockpile here. There we go. Perfect. So, yeah, that's our big problem right now, is I don't have any fuel for most of my shuttles. And really, this poor drone hub here has a lot to deal with. But these days, I am building into it now. So we have, water vaporators in the area, a massive solar field farm that is working pretty hard. So this drone hub is actually keeping pretty busy. I've started to rename them just to get a quick glance in what they're doing. So I'm going to call this, like, for example, their solar field drone hub, because I know what it is. I put down northwest water for this hub, southeast water for the one over to the other area. This could be we already named it the science, or the Trigon. We'll just name it the science plateau, or we kind of know what the science dome is. I'm getting more polymer up on this plateau finally, and so we're starting to catch back up with all of the different needs. So I'm hoping that we can continue to move our goods in the right area. I think I do need to set this to something, though. I think I'm screwing things up by not having at least a desired amount set. I guess my question becomes, what happens if you have over the desired amount? Does it never try to get that number filled? I guess I'm just really not sure on the order of operators. I mentioned that before, but I've been trying to watch them. They have been bringing out my, for example, my rare metals, but it's just, I think the shuttle load is just too much. They're not able to keep up with all the demand. So once we get fuel in the new shuttle hub, and once we get some more shuttles built, I believe we'll be in a little bit of a better spot. Meanwhile, I am trying to start building up the rest of the Mega Alpha Dome. I would love to get the Medium Dome going, but that's going to take a while. We're completely out of metal again. So we're back to scratch for metal. Now, there has been metal getting dropped in this area, right? We have meteors come down and things like that. So we are getting random metal, I guess, reestablished, so to speak. But the problem is going to be, at the moment, we just don't have enough of it. And we're using it for trading, and it's kind of wiping us out a bit. You can tell here that the Rocket of the USA is waiting for metal as well. And the only thing we've got going is this extractor down to the south. So 11 metal per soul. It's a pretty far cry from what we used to get. Now, I could put down, other domes to just extract things, but it's going to be more trouble than I think it's worth. We have lots of metals here and there that are randomly deposited around the map, so I'm going to let my transports go crazy for a bit. Are you metal or are you polymer? Or do you just not exist in the sense of my game? You might not exist, I don't know. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're looking better. I have decided to put down all of my major buildings inside of the Mega Alpha Dome, so that as soon as we can get people here, we can start doing work. Now, the only danger, of course, is moving people in when we don't have all of our services ready to go. So I do want to at least have, say, I could have a open-air gym done, a space bar, and a diner. If I get all of those completed, I would be a happy camper. We do have a problem with the medical center. It's going to take quite a while to get parts for too. Now I can trade. We could try to trade for metals. Boy, what can we offer for metals? Fuel for metals? Food for metal? That might have to be what we do. We're finally up and over in terms of food production. So, where's all the spare food at? Is it just kind of sitting around? Oh, it's all stored at the various buildings here. That's fair. All right. So, we're looking better. I would love to get this underground metals tapped as well, because I think all of this is going to feed together and make for a very effective dome. And just like that, it kind of a quick turn, we're actually feeling a lot better. I got the second shuttle hub up. It is completely full of shuttles, and their global load is actually medium, which is really good news. Look how quickly all of our universal depots are getting filled up. One thing I did discover, I was having trouble getting my, what would you call that, my rare metals from up here to the southwest. So what I did was I put a 0 requested desired amount rare metal depot right outside my rare metal extractor. And then, of course, we have our section down here, which is actually demanding 180 rare metals. So I believe if you have a source pile set to 0, and you have another pile set to anything else and it does not have that amount, it's going to try to get delivered there. So that's one way to prioritize, and it seems to be working pretty well. We are unloading a bunch of... Yep, actually we have just enough, I think, to make one full shuttle load home. I did just unload a bunch of metal. I actually brought metal in from Earth, which I didn't expect to do anytime soon, but it is what it is. And we have to deal with it as it comes. I think I want to grab... I really do want to grab a concrete depot and put that down here. I do want to have a full bit of concrete in this general vicinity, so I can start building up my medium dome here down the road. We are trying to focus on making some of the basic service buildings, because I would love to start moving people in here. We've got the storage for it. Nice. There's the space bar. We have the farms ready to go. The machine parts factory. The polymer factory is something I need to increase the priority of as well. And, oh, holy crap. Our fusion reactor is done. Oh, that's going to be glorious. I want the fusion so flippin' bad, but it's going to require a lot of people to work it. So, I mean, once everyone moves in, yes, it's going to make life a lot easier. This whole area is going to be redesigned. I think I'm going to remove everything from this area. Storage is going to be over here instead. I'm going to kill this southern line of piping, and I'm going to have one big open field of storage, so everything is nice and tight. That's going to give us lots of room in this area if we want to continue to redevelop it. If we want to put down, you know, hey, what if we want to put down another megadome right here? And that way everything can kind of be in the same general vicinity. We don't have to. We could keep things nice and decentralized. Now that I understand how shuttle hubs work, we could decentralize it like we talked about before. A megadome up here doing whatever it wants to do, for example, as well. So lots of options for us, and I'm super, super excited. We're finally over. I mean, look at that. We finally have power. We have spare water. So just for a minute, things are okay, and that's what we want. Metal depot too far from... I don't know why it's complaining about being too far from a drone commander. I mean, we should be dropping stuff, airdropping stuff to you. So who knows? I don't know why it's all grumpy about it. Meanwhile, I do need to bring my RC commander back up. It was working on my field of... what were those called? Water vaporators. And I just want to finish up this level of piping, because we're going to have the piping come in over here. And I'm going to temporarily have our life support piping kind of go... Let's see, you are connected to the rest of the network, right? Yes. So I'm going to have the rest of the network connect in right over here. So water from this end will go through this dome and then out to the rest of my supply until I get things nice and cleaned up. Like, I hate how above ground pipes look. I would love to research a technology that would let me make underground pipes, but it is what it is. And, you know, beggars can't be choosers and whatnot. But I think overall we're doing pretty good. I'm going to focus on getting, you know, continuing to get my basic services up. We do have the space bar and the diner and food. I honestly think we could start moving people in here. I had it quarantined for a bit. What if we, 21 polymer for 50 concrete? Yes, we'll keep doing that trade. I do believe I'm going to stop the trade in here, because we were waiting for metal forever, and we just don't have the metal anymore to trade. So I could do something like, hey, we'll trade food for polymer or machine parts if you guys want. That's an option. But yeah, we could, let's take a look at it. Let's do that. We've got our gym, our bar, everything else we kind of need. I did decline or specifically say I don't want any scientists in this dome, but everyone else is welcome. So I'm hoping we can start getting some people moved in here. Now, am I going to have to do this all at once? Or slowly but surely? Our polymer factory is getting built. What if we do something like... God, I'm so nervous about doing something big and then everyone getting, like, flipping out and losing their mind. I've got the space for a ton of people in here. I've got 88 residences. So I could take 2 of these whole domes, well, 1 of these domes down for sure. The thing is, though, what's going to force them to move into this new dome here? I can't do like a mass move, as far as I know, except colonists or quarantine. That's not going to be helpful. I think we did talk about the possibility of connecting a passage here. But I don't know if they would use that. Would they use that to relocate? Okay, so what if we kill the farm? I know I hate to do that, but just for science purposes, could we have them use the passage to move between domes and then relocate in the new dome? Let's go ahead and send you home. I know you do have a full load. Nice. Let's also send another empty cargo ship. That way we can take a load of rare metals back home. If I just power down, I don't know, I guess I could just do this. I could just say, I don't want anyone in this dome. And they would all find their own way to get in the different area. So maybe I should try to connect it with the passage first. You know, the other thing I like about this dome style, the Mega Dome, is that I believe there's space on the back of everywhere. Oh no, there's not. Crap. I thought there was actually a gap here on the back.
Crop failure reported.
That would let me put down my my transport thing. Shoot. I guess there's not. So I'll have to be a little bit careful about where I'm positioning everything. But honestly, that's going to be fine later on. We'll be able to connect these domes up. We're also progressing down the technology tree pretty hardcore. We just got Martian-born adaptability, which is going to increase the rate that our graduates, our Martian-born colonists, are graduating from universities and schools or sanatoriums. So very, very cool. That's going to help us out immensely. Ooh, Hanging Gardens, a beautiful park complex that greatly improves the comfort of all residences in the dome. That would actually probably work well here. If, I don't know, we could try out the medical dome and see if it works. Now, the thing about the Megadome Alpha, I still don't know what our food output's going to be. Oh, hey, our automation. I never did check on this. Reduces the workplace by 2. Really? It costs 5 to free up 2 spaces, that's it? I mean, I guess in the long run that's going to help us, but that's still kind of a kick in the pants that we put 10,000 research points only to remove 2 worker slots. That's okay, though. We'll deal with that when it comes up. I also keep forgetting we have this giant open farm that can deliver food once the vegetation improves, the soil quality of this area improves. So that is still a possibility for us as well to get food in that manner. I was hoping to get the breakthrough of the fungus thing, but I never did find it through here. So I don't think we're going to have super fungus or whatever that happens to be. And that would have given us a bit more food at a fungal farm. But alas, I don't know. I guess we'll just try 3 farms open at once. It's going to just take a while to stabilize, and I really just have to keep an eye on where our food stockpile is to make sure that we're not, going over or under. Let's go ahead and trash this line here across the front of my drone hub. I'm going to lay out the new fancy-looking items. Let me fill this entire pipe here. We're going to lay out the new storage, the new advanced storage. I kind of want to see how this is going to look. So we're going to have something like, let's say food. Food is one that we have a ton of. Do we want to have this? Oh, crap. Were we seriously not in range? Okay, if we stretch it right across the front here, it's going to just be in range of all of my RC things. So I guess we'll just have it at an angle, and we'll have all the storages lined up here. But I do want to see what it looks like. So let's put our power line down. And I'm kind of just curious. Now, the automated part, it looks the same as a normal storage facility. I think the big draw is that it's just going to store 4,000 of an item. Was that how much I read? Can store 4,000 of any item. So that's going to be super, super useful, that we don't have to worry about everything stacking up down the road. So we will let that be do its thing. Meanwhile, over here, we're all set, I guess. We repaired the pipe we needed. I don't know if we need any more RC drones in this commander for the moment. Let's bring the commander back to the base, and we'll drag it around wherever it needs to go down the road. I might even put down another shuttle hub. We still have a high amount of electronics. I think it was electronics and... what? Electronics and polymers for the shuttle hub. We've got the fuel for it. Let's do it. Let's put you down. And you know what I haven't done in ages? I finally researched it, and I forgot all about it. My poor carbonate processor. You're going to use a lot of energy, but we finally actually have energy to spare. So let's put some freaking pollutants in the air, shall we? Let us do a bit of nasty polluting. You know, there's a ton of stuff here, so I think I'd like to put this down in this general vicinity. It's in range of one of my drones. That shouldn't be a problem. 50 metal, 50... oh god, 50 machine parts. That's gonna hurt a bit, but we are sending some shuttles back home with trade goods, so that should help out a little bit. But I really need to start working on the atmosphere. And once we know, I don't know the rate at which we'll be losing atmosphere yet. So we may lose everything we put up there. I don't really know yet. But once we figure out how many carbonate processors to put down, we can figure out how crazy to go with our power situation and whatnot. So I tested something out, a little bit terrifying, but I actually wound up kicking everyone out of the main Pata 1 dome. So I actually have gone into the traits and pretty much said I don't want anyone here. So everyone's getting a ride, I think, right now. They're all going outside, getting rides, and kind of going to different domes. So I imagine if I keep doing that long enough, and with all the different domes, there'll be nowhere else to go to other than the new areas. So I have renamed a couple domes. I've renamed this as New Leads. That's a throwback to, I think it was freaking Freelancer, I believe. And then we also have the Curie Trigon, since it is focused on science. So we'll get a famous scientist in the mix there. I've thrown down another shuttle hub. That'll be whenever it happens to, whenever it arrives, that's fine. But we're trying to cram this thing full of people because I need bodies. I need bodies to work my fancy fusion reactor, and then, of course, all of our machine part factories and things like that. But hey, you know what? We're getting there. Things are working. We've got botanists on board, maybe. Let's go ahead and actually do automation on a couple of our farms. I would like to see how the automation turns out. So I'll get them in there. I think I'm going to start tearing apart this dome slowly but surely. I think these folks are having to sit there and wait. Why aren't you leaving yet? Oh, moving to a new dome, Abira 1. Okay, so they're actually waiting for a ride. Where is Abira 1? Down south? No, a Congo. So Abira 1 must be this dome here. Yeah. I mean, the only reason this is useful is because of the rare metals extractor. You know what I should say? Is I don't want anyone but no specializations and geologists. I guess I should include in some doctors too. How many people do we have in here? 56 out of 66. And there's only one employment. I think people will try to move where there's work. I hope. Not entirely sure. I'll have to see. We're going to do a lot of manual balancing eventually once everything gets evened out. What about the other upgrade I can apply here? Amplify will increase power by 10. I'm not quite ready for that just yet. So we're still waiting to see if once we get our power up from the fusion reactor, then maybe I'll talk about doing some of the other amplification and upgrades on the rare metals. We are halfway through this deposit. Once this deposit is gone, this dome is gone. There's no other reason to have stuff over here. I'll shift everything, like the landing pads. I'll shift them closer to the Curie dome. Oh god, sanity breakdown, witness me. Listen to my voice, calm down. There's no need for violence. A rover has been destroyed. Oh, seriously? Which kind of a rover did we lose? Salvage the materials. RC transporter. At least we still have one transporter. That's rather annoying. We'll salvage that for materials. What a bummer. Big jerk. Destroying my stupid dome. I want to see, before we end this episode, I do want to see how the food storage looks. Do we have anyone moving in here? We still don't really have a lot of people in the dome yet. How many do we have overall? 22 out of 110. That's not too bad. We still have 13 in here. I think I'm going to start trashing the residences and forcing people to move. Do we have any exclusions? The only exclusion we should have is scientist. Yeah, so they should be moving to another dome. I imagine people are waiting to move to other domes, but man, I almost want to trash all the domes at once. Not trash them per se, but I want to do a fast shuffle so that everyone gets stuffed into a new dome, and we can focus on opening up all the rest of the support buildings. We're still in really good shape in terms of what our materials are. Need another space bar here, another diner. I think I'm still going to need more services than this. And we're going to have to do... I bet we're going to... You know what? I was really worried about, putting open farms in here. What if we only go with, like, 2 farms? And we wind up going with the outside fungal things. The outside fungal farms for our main food source. Because we can stack these around as much as we want in the base, right? We can stack these around the base as crazy as we want because there's no limit on the outside, the external types of things. We do have to worry about people getting pissed off from working outside, but that could solve our space problem inside. We could keep 1 farm or 2 farms for comfort. I don't know if they stack per se. Remember, we had the bonus that increases the comfort level because of the farms. That would open up a lot more central buildings for services, as well as this open farm. What was our big farm doing? Like, realistically, how much were we expecting to get here? This gives us 1 food. We can plant potatoes now. That's kind of surprising. Yeah, so the soil quality is so bad that we're not really expecting any real food here, which is pretty rough. That's fine. We've completely scanned the areas that we had queued up. We're almost done with the map. That's going to be a science boost when that happens, which is going to be cool. Where are we at in terms of those goals as well? 25% terraforming progress. We're not 35% yet. We're getting there. Water gets a new rocket. Capital City will give us 200 enthusiastic applicants, which would be glorious. We're still quite a ways away from our carbonate processor. I might kick that up in the priority level, though. And we've got 894 million, as well as a shuttle that's ready to land. Are you people or empty? You're just empty. So let's put you... Actually, I think I've got all my rare metals moved properly. I can't even see them. There are... Damn, where are the metals still up here? They're still not getting moved as quickly as I was hoping. That's okay, though. I can just leave. I can just drop my shuttle here, and it'll get loaded up because the rare metals are right there. So we'll get that taken care of. I'm still waiting on this area to get developed. It's been a long time coming. What do you need at this point? What are you short on? Oh, man, I missed the freaking delivery, the zone by an inch. That's so dumb. Let me put down a stupid universal depot. All we really need is machine parts and metal. That's so dumb of me. Machine parts, metal. What does it need to run? What does a water extractor actually need long term? Okay, machine parts. That's fine. So we'll finally have this water extractor up and running, which will mean even more water coming. We're still trying to work on getting the medium dome here all set to go. Actually, we have so much concrete, we're almost good enough to turn it off. I guess we could unlock this one or open this one up for building. I really want to get this dome done along with this metal extractor, and then I'm going to completely remove Yon Congo 1. And we'll be in much better shape. All right, thanks for following along with this crazy episode, folks. I had to do a lot of jumbling and jumping around back and forth off camera, so I apologize if my thoughts have been a little bit disconnected. This is like an hour and a half at this point of trying to just make some changes and let the time run. But we're doing pretty good. I'm going to start working on getting folks moved in to new leads here this episode, or rather next episode, between episodes as well. I believe we are going to stick with that outside farming area thing, the farming area idea. And I'll probably clean up some of the piping so that it's not quite such a hot mess. But thanks so much for joining me. As always, my name has been Tobal. I appreciate you and your support, and take care.